Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're taking a deep dive into, well, the immediate global ripples from those recent military actions in the Middle East. We're looking at how a conflict like this can, very quickly reshape travel advisories, hit international flights hard, and just raise security concerns everywhere.
Exactly. And our mission here is to pull out the really important uh, pieces of information from what's happening to help you understand the sort of cascading effects of these big geopolitical shifts and really what they mean for you, whether you're at home or thinking about going abroad.
So, just to set the scene a bit, the U.S. announced strikes targeting what they said were 3 Iranian nuclear sites. This was over the weekend. And that move, well, it signals pretty direct engagement in the wider conflict there, wouldn't you say? Targeting infrastructure, not just military assets.
Absolutely. That definitely upped the ante, the perceived threat level. And it wasn't just talk. Right away, the U.S. State Department issued a worldwide caution alert for Americans traveling anywhere abroad. And, this isn't just a casual heads up, it's a formal thing. Warning about broad, maybe unspecified threats, potential protests, disruptions, basically telling people to be extra careful.
And that alert, it wasn't the only thing, right? Things escalated quickly with travel.
Oh, very quickly. It led straight to major impacts on global travel. It really shows how instability in one spot can spread out fast. Take Qatar, for instance. They host the biggest U.S. military base in the region. They temporarily shut down their airspace after reports of missile attacks. That's a huge deal.
Wow. Just shut it down like that.
Temporarily, yes.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just Qatar. Other neighbors, the UAE, Kuwait, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, they also put out urgent travel warnings. Some even closed their airspace for a time, too. It's more than just inconvenient travel plans. It's a reminder of how tied together everything is. Supply chains, economies.
Yeah, you don't often think about how dependent we are on clear airspace over specific regions.
Exactly. And the knock-on effect for flights globally was pretty profound.
Yeah.
Big international airlines, regional ones too, they had to suddenly suspend, cancel, or reroute loads of flights going over or near the Middle East. We saw way less air traffic over places like Iran, Iraq, Syria, Israel.
So where do they go? Just fly way around?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Saudi airspace actually became this crucial detour route, though it got very congested, as you can imagine. Think about the cost for airlines rerouting, extra fuel, longer flight times. It hits their bottom line directly and affects passengers too.
So with all this happening, the flight chaos, the rising tension, safety must have been the #1 concern for people actually there or planning to go. What was the advice?
Definitely. Personal security advice became front and center. We saw shelter-in-place warnings from the U.S., UK, and Indian embassies in Qatar. That's a serious directive. Stay indoors, stay away from windows, listen to local authorities. It points to a real immediate risk level.
Right, that's not a suggestion, that's an order, basically. And the language, the rhetoric, that ramped up too, didn't it?
It did. Iran stated the U.S. actions crossed a red line. They vowed, quote, powerful operations with heavy, regretful, and unpredicted consequences. Strong words.
And there was that chilling comment from Iranian state TV calling U.S. civilians and military personnel legitimate targets.
Yes, and that kind of rhetoric isn't just for show. It directly fed into a bulletin from U.S. Homeland Security. They warned about a heightened threat environment back home in the States, including potentially cyber attacks. So the concern was that retaliation could spread far beyond the region itself, hitting critical infrastructure.
And of course, the economy reacts instantly to this sort of thing. We saw oil prices jump, stock futures took a dip. What does that tell us?
Well, it tells us the market confidence is pretty shaky when things like this happen. It immediately sparks worries about oil supply disruptions, especially through the Strait of Hormuz. That's such a vital channel for global oil. Something like a third of the world's seaborne oil goes through there.
A global choke point, essentially.
Exactly. Any hint of trouble there gets priced in as global risk, affecting more than just energy markets. It creates wider economic uncertainty.
It is interesting, though, how Qatar, which was right in the middle of those advisories, officially kept saying their security situation was stable. What's behind that?
That's a really important point. Despite all the warnings and the airspace closure, Qatar's public stance was that things were stable internally. They framed the measures, like the airspace closure, as purely precautionary. It shows how nations try to manage perception and maintain confidence, even when regional tensions are super high.
So, pulling this all together, what does it really mean for you, the listener? It seems incredibly clear how fast global events, things that might seem far away, can directly mess with your travel plans, your sense of safety.
Absolutely. And it brings up a bigger question, I think. In this world that's so connected and changes so fast, how does understanding these, complex global security links influence how you approach engaging with the world, or even just how aware you are day to day of these global ripples? Something to think about.